Hello, welcome to another episode of Daily Market Mastery on this really crappy, what do we have, by the way? First day, I think. Yes, first day. I hope you all had a great trading week so far. As always, before we jump into things, let's get the usual disclaimer out of the way. First, everything that I share in this live stream / video is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. And besides that, all the tools that I'm using, so the broker, the charting software, the strategy I'm following, and everything else is linked in the video description down below. And the one thing I can recommend is that you check out the Elliott Wave Principle, which you can read online for free when you're using the link in the description down below. Besides that, hi Olga, great to have you here. Taking 2 weeks off, enjoy later. So you're going on vacation or you're just taking off in general, like from trading for 2 weeks? Yeah, so last thing to mention before we get into it, actually, then don't forget, like, subscribe, enable notifications so you don't miss out on future episodes. And with that, we can jump straight into my brokerage account. As you can see, we are having a slightly red start into the day after having a big red day yesterday due to the GameStop earnings, or at least the move that followed after the earnings. As far as GameStop goes, family vacation, that sounds nice. Where is it? Where are you going? Like, are you flying somewhere, or is it a car trip? Or yeah, like, feel free to share if you want to. Yeah, so regarding my GameStop position, we obviously have the 501 shares that I've been holding for a while now, since I got them assigned through $30 put contracts. And against those shares, I've been writing call options pretty much every week. Now we have 3 call options that expire this Friday, and we are likely are going to lock in the maximum profit. And we have another 2 already sold for next Friday that will wait for next Friday to hopefully lock in the maximum profit. If the price of GameStop goes above the $30 strike price of those options in that time, then obviously the shares would get called away. But since we got them assigned at 30 and they would get called away at 30, that's not much of an issue. Olga says Turkey. Yeah, Turkey is nice. We've been there in the beginning of the year, and we also went there last year. And I have to say, it's right now one of our favorite destinations, considering that the flight times to Turkey are reasonably short from Germany. Immigration is stress-free because just hand your passport, get a stamp, no long discussions. And yeah, prices are much lower. So if in comparison, if you would fly to Spain or somewhere within Europe, you end up paying much more for a very, very similar experience. And yeah, so Turkey is also on our like favorites list at the moment. And yeah, definitely the right time. So now, I mean, I understand for many it's not possible outside of the vacation time because the kids have to be in school. But if it's possible to actually fly a little bit later, like now, so end of September, maybe early October, I think it's definitely worth it, because in the middle of summer, when all the kids have vacation, the weather in Germany is also great. And there's not much point to pay overpriced prices to fly somewhere where it's then crowded with everyone. Yeah, and super hot anyway, yeah. And so I think, like, really great decision to do it now, yeah. Got to have 2 small kids, yeah, before they have to go to school, yeah, then it works, yeah. But once they start going to school, you're gonna be in the same trap there, that your vacations either mean vacation without the kids or during their holidays. And yeah, of course, the inflation in Turkey is also in your favor because you go there and pretty much the euro is very, very powerful there. And yeah, one nice thing there is also you can pay with card everywhere, which I personally prefer, compared to, I mean, it's only an issue in Germany. In most other European countries, it's also not an issue. But yeah, it's really, really convenient. Yeah. Yeah, so definitely enjoy your vacation and the sunshine, while I'm suffering here in Bavaria with, like, autumn weather. It's really sucks. Anyway, looking at the markets, yeah. So yesterday we had the drop in GameStop that invalidated the assumption that we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse on the way up, and actually validated the assumption that I shared earlier, that potentially this might just be a corrective pattern and we get another push down. So if we zoom in now a little bit, let's see if the hourly chart is enough. Yeah, I mean, we can see with the naked eye, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern here. We have now an A, B, C developing, and then we'll get another 5-wave push down. So I'm fairly certain. So, I mean, that A, B, C obviously would have to look closer. It's possible that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave A, then we get wave B, then we get wave C. It's possible that this is already wave A, wave B, and wave C. So, but I'm not going to bother to look closer because that's just like, not retracement, expansion. That's just like the like a minor detail. We should retrace at least 38.2%. So, for example, if this would be wave A, wave B, and we're currently in wave C, we would expect to hit the 38.2 retracement before we then continue our journey downwards. Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I might be wrong with some aspects here, but from the look of it, it's clearly 3-wave pattern followed by a 5-wave pattern. So this is a corrective move, and this is now an impulsive move down. We got lower than here, so there's going to be more downwards movement, and that downwards movement is going to take us, in my opinion, down to the $15 mark. Now, the question would be, would it be a smart move for me to close out my position and realize a small loss on that? And then basically sell puts to basically re-enter lower and earn higher premiums. Either way, I could only do that after the current call options expired, because if I'm wrong and we go up, otherwise the calls could wipe out everything. So yeah, so not this week, or like at least earliest when I close out that, then I could do that with 300 shares. Would it be worth it? Would be a big question. So, I mean, we can see we are right now, where are we right now? Oh, that's calls and puts, yeah. Yeah, there's next to no premium for this week left, and for next week, yeah, also, yeah, it doesn't make too much sense. We can see the premium is very low, so I assume, I said, that we will touch the $15 mark. So selling something like an $18 put doesn't make sense, because we'd earn $10 in premium or $9 in premium, and get assigned here again. So I think we'll just hold. Yeah, it might temporarily hurt a little bit to look at the portfolio. If I'm indeed right, and we go down to the $15 mark. But after that, again, it should turn out fine. And it also, of course, temporarily makes it harder to earn a premium by selling covered calls at the 30 strike or higher. But yeah, and yeah, Olga says Hamburg here. Yeah, I mean, you probably have, in general, like even a shorter summer, I assume. And yeah, since you're further north. Irina and I have been in Hamburg 2 years ago for the 30th birthday of a friend of ours. Yeah, like, not that we don't like it, but it also didn't feel very, very special, and it's really too far north for our taste, or at least for mine. And yeah, anyway, so GameStop, as said, there might be a short recovery a little bit for corrective wave, but I expect 5 more waves down, corrective wave, and another 5 waves down, and we should end at the $15 mark. How fast? If I would have to guesstimate, that whole thing should play out till next Friday, or worst case, the week after that, unless we get some drawn out movements like here. But I think it will not take too long, and then from there we should see our rally up. Yeah, other than that, market's relatively green. So on the right, most of the things appear to be green. Let's work our way through. Actually, let's jump to Novavax first, which today has a red day. Cannot catch a break here in quotes. Yeah, so could that? Nah, that we're way too far from here. Yeah, so the assumption that this might be a triangle flies out the window, unless it's drawn out and basically develops like this. Yeah, so that might be possible, A, B, C. Yeah, so that might actually be possible, that we have a triangle develop like this instead of like the assumption that I have here. Either way, if this turns out to be a triangle, it will be the last pattern in the correction, and followed by then strong move upwards. Other than that, we are safe here as long as we stay below above 1069. Ideally, I would like to stay above this line already as a kind of confirmation that we're indeed in the fifth wave that I'm speculating on. But even if we today finish below that trend line, that's still fine. And the overall pattern still looks solid enough for the assumption that we finish the correction here. If it's a combinative correction, and I said, we would have a big zigzag pattern that's very, very nice, followed by a potential triangle pattern in development here. So it would just mean waiting a little bit, again, probably then also next Friday or the week after that, and we would then get our takeoff. Still fine, since the call option that I have in Novavax expires in January, so there's still months to go. Now, taking it from the top, Barnes & Noble, educational, yeah, we have the potential that the correction might be finished here, but it's not a clear enough pattern. So we have here the 38.2 retracement level. We're in the area of wave 4 of the previous impulse wave of a lower degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have basically a potential ABC pattern here, so a free wave move. There is still room for a further correction, but there is a reasonable chance that we actually finish the correction here, which means we should get 5 waves up soonish. But again, keep in mind, we could theoretically go what's that, 30% lower from here before we start the upwards movement. And so it's like a tricky play to get into if you don't already have a position. I think longer dated call options might be a worthy play. But again, please do your own research, make your own decision. Friday futures, we're still waiting as far as I recall. Yeah, so to see if that actually marks the bottom and we go up from here. Like not much to say. We're on a 4-hour chart, so it will take, I don't know, pretty much a lot of things should resolve by next Friday. So till the 20th, we should in a lot of those cases have enough new candles on the chart to have confirmation of me being right or me being wrong. Hi Akashi, great to have you here. How is your week going? And GameStop we already covered. Grab, like long-term things. So there we'll wait a little longer. But again, the auto labeling and my personal labeling would suggest that we actually might have our bottom here, and will develop upwards movement over the next couple of months and years here. Immersion, also up a little bit. Yeah, same thing, although here we are on a daily chart, so till the 20th might not be enough, but we might also see a little bit of development. We're basically waiting for, ideally, the breakout to the top here to confirm that indeed we finished the corrective movement. No, gained this a little bit, so and then lost a little bit again. No reason to scream, Akashi, yeah? Like, disable caps lock. Reminds me of the Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode where Captain Holt starts to scream because the tweet that he's reading is all caps, yeah? Okay, no, it's not loading, but we know how the chart looks like, and we're anyway looking on a weekly chart, so it still will take probably till the end of the year till we have our answer there. If you're curious about my forecast for now, check out yesterday's episode. COS, yeah, there we are actually, that's interesting, or yeah, not in our favor, so 652, and here we reached 656, 657. We're in the area where the assumption that the correction finished here becomes almost invalid. If we move a little bit lower, the assumption will be invalid, and then we would have to consider alternative patterns, which I would not be a fan of in this case, because then the alternative pattern would be that we had a corrective move and are now developing the next 5-wave move down. Although this doesn't look like a 5-wave move here, and it would need to be if we're in a downwards movement. So, but still, then it could be 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves. Yeah, then there would still be where do we have retracement levels here? So that's actually one that I didn't expect, to be honest. Yeah, so we are on the 50% retracement level. If that's not the end of the corrective pattern, then there's still, that would be a bummer, but it could be that we have here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with an extended 5th wave, in which case we would expect the correction into that area, and with that, actually the 70.8 78.6 retracement would become valid or relevant. Yeah, like thankfully our exposure there is not too big, so we're just gonna, as said, wait, or as so often, just wait it out. Now Nasdaq we jump into later. Novavax we already had. Nvidia getting the upwards move that we assumed might happening. So we don't have full confirmation yet, but with the break from that current trend line here, it looks like we're indeed now in the fifth wave, which should take us towards, we'll have to zoom in a little bit, 8 hours should be sufficient, which should take us towards, wait, that's 3, the 4, between 118 and 128 at least. And we can already, with the naked eye, even see here 1, 2, 3 in progress, then 4, 5. So there's still a little bit room up to finish this movement. Ideally, we would make a new high, but the usual target area would be this one for now. Yeah, but again, I think that we might get to see a new high here as well. It just will take a little bit to develop. So as long as we make it above that deceleration trend line, we should be good. Then next one on our list, Park Hotels. Okay, there we are. There we're actually expecting another push down, yeah. So we have the labeling here for this being potentially an impulsive wave up and now a corrective wave, where our target area is 50% retracement seems reasonable. So the $10 mark that we touched that, or 61.8 for the $8 mark, to basically have a big ABC play out, which then technically would take us into already 20. No, that's like, oh, we're looking at a monthly chart. Oh, that's going to be a long drawn out time here. So in Park Hotels, it would be till end of 25 to finish that correction, if not a little longer. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, obviously we'll see something else. And SMCI, yeah, so we have a couple of overlapping target areas here, and like I mentioned yesterday, there is a decent chance that we finish the correction as an ABC here and are now developing our journey or continuing our journey upwards. It would be a tricky play, however, because the next retracement levels would be relatively low if we are correcting the entire move and not just this move here. And which means that we would have to set our stop loss very far away, and the risk reward ratio might not be worth it. Doing an options play might be worth it, so where you just risk the premium and don't have like a too high of a risk. But I think that the risk reward ratio overall, even with options, might not be too attractive. And WHLR. There we are expecting a further correction down. We would have it confirmed more or less if we break below 567, 566. We're not that far off. We're at, where are we right now? At 599. So if we break that low, then we would have more or less our confirmation that we might indeed still see another push down. And I would assume the 50% retracement level will be where this corrective move will end up. Now, our call options for this week got bought back for $1, so the market does not think $30 in GameStop this Friday, so tomorrow is likely anymore, which means we can write new call options for next week. It's tricky, however, because it's hard to estimate the time frame. So while again, I think that we'll go down to 15, and then go up. The question is, how fast will we go up then? So selling anything below a $30 call will not make sense. So we sold 2 here, so we can sell another 3. It's not a lot of premium, as we can see, so it's $50 premium total for next Friday, $30 call. But yeah. Why did you not submit? Hello, tooltip. Because I have that order already in place. Okay, so sell 3 mid next Friday, $30. There you go.
Order filled.
Okay, so we have our calls sold for next week, and now we can set the order to actually buy them back. So for put till canceled and buy them back for 1 cent. So if the price, or as the price drops, we close the position out. And with that, we have that done. And here we expect, or I expect, another drop down. And then that brings us to, let's start with SPY. So same as NVIDIA and so on. So actually it looks like we'll get our confirmation that this might be the next 1, 2, 3 in development. So to finish up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can see the target areas here. So there's still, what's that, 1 to 4% upside. If we're right, if we're wrong, obviously then there is no upside. Risk reward ratio not too bad. It's hard to say how today will develop overall, but again, during the next couple of days, I think that we will see, or what do we have here? Till end of next week, I think we will see upward movement into that area to finish those 5 waves, and then we'll get another correction that again takes us down into the current area. And the same probably in the NASDAQ. Let's take a look. Yep, also same. Looks like this might be 1, 2, 3 in development. It could technically also be A, B, C, but considering that we enter this price area here, I think it's most likely, or more likely, that this again is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're now getting wave 5. And as said, the same applies in NVIDIA. Exactly. Yeah, NVIDIA, same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that most likely, I think, we're not having a corrective pattern here. It's possible that this is ABC and we go further down, but I think that this will be, as said, 1, 2, 3 in development, and then 4, 5 to take us a little bit higher, ideally to a new high, to be honest. So that would be wave 5 target. We can use the wave C target area. So so best case would be up here, the 150, 45 area. And with that, we actually have it for today. Now, what else is going on in the chat other than Akashi pressuring Olga on our Discord server? Yeah, it would be nice if you join, feel free. So, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff outside of trading, and we only have one trading channel, and there's unfortunately not too much activity other than the live stream announcement, since a lot of people in our small community are there for other topics. But if you have the time, and if you're using Discord anyway here and there, would be great to see you there, Olga, so we can chat there as well, and not just 30 minutes live streams and exchange ideas and labelings and forecasts. So I think that, I know I would benefit from it, maybe you as well, or hopefully you as well. And other than that, I think I'm gonna end the stream by, again, one last time today, complaining about the crappy weather. I don't know how it is for you. Actually switching here. I don't know how it is for you guys, but for me, when it's like raining or rainy and cloudy and getting cold, that I partially have to or want to wrap a blanket around myself when I'm sitting in the office, then it drags, or it reduces my productivity so much. It's really, I just feel like, oh, why not just go to the couch, turn on Netflix, and binge watch the season of whatever. It's really, my wife is laughing because there are times every year where I do that. It's like,
Or go to Turkey.
Or fly away to Turkey. No, but that we did because the heating stopped working. It was last year. It was like we were visiting friends on the first day or so, and there was some conversation about somebody where the heating stopped working or so. And then on Friday morning, we wake up and it's cold in the apartment, and our heating stopped working. And then the building management said somebody will come and it will be fixed and whatnot. And then Friday goes past and there is no warm water and the heating isn't working. And then Saturday morning I get up, I have my coffee, still no heating, still no warm water. And then by noon there is still no plumber or anything there. So it's clear we're in Germany. If Saturday at noon nobody's here, they will not show up anymore. So Sunday nobody works. So they show up on Monday, they figure out which part they need, they order it, and it will only be fixed by Wednesday. And then I was so annoyed by it that we actually short noticed then just on Saturday or on Sunday then yeah, like with 3 hours to spare or 4 hours to spare, just book the flight to Turkey for a week. Yeah, I really can't have that shit. It's also gonna be the period where it's getting cold, but where the heating isn't turned on yet, because there obviously has to be whatever, like usually gets turned on, I think, end of October. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, there's usually a date where they turn it on because they ignore the law. You didn't see Irina. Yeah, you see the back of the chair. Yeah. Akashi said we didn't notice you. Yeah. And yeah, so it's like the way the cameras are aligned. I could switch the camera and she would be better in visible, but I don't think she wants to. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a day here. So it's, I don't know, like, it's the frustrating part right now of the trading. So the being patient. Yeah. So obviously we have a few call options that are long term. So there it's just about waiting, and either I'm right and they pay off, or I'm wrong and we lose a small amount of money. So there's the risk is not that high. And then with the bigger positions, it's unfortunately down to waiting. And maybe the smarter play would be to close out the position, take the loss, and then re-enter lower or whatnot. Yeah. But then there's also always the consideration I could be wrong and not be able to re-enter lower. And if I'm right, then anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just a waiting game. But the waiting obviously sucks if we now have to wait for basically the move to down here to play out, which, yeah, like it should take, with some luck, we're there end of next week, and then go up from there. But yeah, the waiting is always the annoying part, especially when here and there I see posts on Reddit where somebody just gambles a couple thousand on 0-day options and has then a couple thousand% return in a day. Although often enough, there are also posts where it goes vice versa. So gambling a couple thousand and it's gone. But yeah, then it makes the waiting harder. Yeah. But yeah, like Warren Buffett said, yeah, the stock market is an instrument to transfer money from the impatient to the patient. So I'm going to be patient with the positions that I have. Yeah, there are a few that I could have cut at some point, like SunPower and Greenwave, but since I neglected to put a stop loss and the positions are not that big at this point, it just, yeah, like it's kind of like waiting it out. Either they turn around or it doesn't make a difference either way anymore. Yeah. But yeah, so that's it. Thanks for stopping by, Akashi and Olga, both of you, and also whoever lurked in the background. I wish you all a pleasant rest of the day. Hopefully the weather is better in your location than it is for me. And yes, Olga confirms patience is key. Yeah. And Olga, enjoy your vacation. So have a nice 2 weeks with your family. And then when you get back, I'm going to bother you about a few details, where you were and how you liked it. And yeah, and then for everyone else, see you tomorrow around 5 minutes before market open. Again, don't forget, hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, enable notifications, and then see you then. Till then, bye-bye.